Evening.
Hey, you made it.
Yes.
Only took you only took 1 damage.
Uh, I stayed to smoke a cigarette with Ali before she went to bed. Sorry.
That's fine. Mark down one of your temporary hit points
Why just temporary?
because you have to finish the temporary first before I start doing body damage.
Ah, okay. I had zero temporary damage. Temporary hit points. I usually, yeah, it was my bad. I marked down 1 damage.
Oh, yeah, then you're at 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, recapping.
Oh, thank you, Yuan,
For what?
for adding everything to my character sheet here.
Yeah. Um, everyone should remember that you managed to somehow actually escape Death House with any deaths, but to my disappointment. Um, you came across a small coffin that was more like a gift box with a note, some wine, and a letter. Rudely reading the letter, you got familiar with the contents. You then decided to set off trying to get somewhere the hell away from that cursed Durst estate. Um, Following the road further towards uh, the direction you did not come from, you started uh, going over some hills, then another set of hills, until you finally, on top of one of the hills, could see down quite far into what would seem to be a village in the distance. And this is where we find ourselves now. You are beaten, you are blooded, you are tired. Night is coming in a bit, and it seems like there's a settlement a bit of a ways off in the distance. What would you all like to do?
Do we have a map for this, or I'm still seeing the splash screens? That's why I'm asking.
Have you bought a map?
Nope.
Then you do not have a map. I mean,
Shit.
I have tons of maps. I
Okay.
have spoiler maps, I have spoiler free maps, I have maps with notations,
Uh,
I have.
I think he meant if we have a playing screen.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I meant. But yeah, like
Here. Here's a map.
perfect. I can see my light in my eyes.
If you look closer, you can actually see the coronavirus, huh? Too soon.
Remind us again, how far was the encampment town slash thingy?
Look at the handout picture and you'll see.
Can I roll something to determine how long it will take to get there?
Sure, roll a survival.
Make sure you don't roll a natural one, or you'll trip and break your neck.
While looking.
Looking at how close it seems to be getting into late afternoon, it still seems it would take you the better part of like an hour, maybe crossing into the second hour. So you should be getting there just before nightfall,
Ah,
depending when night falls.
Do
if
we risk it, guys?
I think it's riskier to stay out in the open and try to camp out in the open. I think it's better we go.
I think we should rest here because if we meet something on the way there, we're gonna be toast.
But if we stay here for 9 or 10 hours, I don't know how much the long rest is. We might encounter more beasts.
Yeah, it's usually not a good idea to. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. It's usually not a good idea to rest outside in the open during nightfall.
No one.
So I
Mm,
say we push forward.
Okay.
I I pet Lancelot and I talk to him.
Wait, no one of you actually heard that?
No.
What? Oh, wolves.
Wolves.
Let's go
No,
to the
that was
city.
Lancelot.
I think that was your stomach.
That might be as well. I have not eaten today. Not in game, not in real life.
At least now you eat in game.
Okay, then let's go. I think, right?
Yeah.
So you take the trip?
Yes, really. Unless
Okay.
someone objects.
I do not object.
Um,
I second the motion.
you start heading down. Um, the path is it's not necessarily well traveled, but it is traveled, and you can see um, the ground is pretty solid compared to the sides, meaning that carts and footprints tend to have like pressed and compressed the earth together. So you are in still heading down a road that's, if not commonly traveled, at least occasionally traveled. It's open grounds. You see yourself as you're heading down the field. This is more your typical farmland areas where you would have expected there to be farms. However, most of the area here is pretty grown in, as if this prime farmland has been neglected for a reason. Um, Whether that means the settlement up ahead is deserted or just that there is a reason why they are not farming these fields, you wouldn't necessarily know. Anyone interested in trying to get a guess could, if they want, try to roll an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Intelligence, yes, just a straight intelligence check.
Where the fuck is intelligence?
You have six main stats on the left,
Yeah.
one under.
Oh, okay.
Um, that's a saving throw, by the way.
Oh.
Azam, you would realize that there seems to be enough creepy shit going on in the area you've just come from that perhaps people might feel like a little bit unnerved from a place that literally creates children out of thin air and, you know, spawn horrible stuff.
So
So
people tend to stay away from it, right?
you get the sense that perhaps these people might be erring on the side of caution on that part.
Okay.
At least something would have driven people away from such prime farmland. And there are like uh, something that reinforces that motion is that the more you travel, the more signs you start seeing that this was probably farmed extensively at some point, since the fields are pretty flat, as fields can be. It's like someone has like artificially evened it out. Uh, Slowly, little by little, as you're heading towards the settlement, you can see run-down shacks as if they were like farmhouses, just that they're in a state of decay. And these seems to have been like outlying farms away from this village or settlement or town or whatever the hell it is. Uh,
No.
you, as you're looking now, you still see mist. Ever since you came to the hill and started looking down into the valley, you've seen a lot of mist. It's just more scattered around, whereas uh, the mist, at least you saw from the Durst estate, was pretty damn localized and seemed to be coming from the altar. But whether that is just like a local phenomenon or something that is the same for this entire valley and all of these places, you don't really know. You wouldn't know what was the source of that either. Like, it could realistically be controlled from the house, but that seems weird considering there's still mist up and about in the valley, as you can see
But
in the distance in the hill.
do we still see that mist that chased us? Because it left it to the forest, last I remember.
No,
Do we still?
you do not.
I'm sorry. As far as I remember, the mist that chased us stopped at the gates.
Yes.
Like,
You're right. Sorry,
there were two mists.
I
The
forgot.
one that chased us up until through the forest up until the gates, which I think it's like this enveloping mist around the entire province of Barovia, like a dome. Like the province has a dome in which the mist doesn't enter. And it's all around it, and the one from the altar in the house. I think that was the mist that chased us to the house was the one from the altar.
Okay, thank you.
You would have seen enough from it to know that while you don't understand the nature of the mist, it seems to be doing certain things on purpose. And if it doesn't have a purpose, maybe it's not really doing much at the moment.
Think of it like the mist from Lost. It's just a plot point to drive the story further.
Haven't seen Lost, but I understand what you're saying.
You should see Lost, just so you can see how bad of a TV show that was.
Now I know it's shit.
Anyway,
But yeah, starting to see some rundown farmhouses that were probably a part of agricultural production at some point.
were the peasants in control of the means of production, or
Do you want to stop and try to investigate?
yes?
Okay, make an investigation check.
Okay, I rolled a natural one.
You know that peasants are pretty well known for producing a lot of children, so probably.
Nice spin. Okay. How far to the village? Oh, actually, before you answer that question, I have one question I wanted to ask from session one, more or less, but I forgot and I just reminded now because I wanted to talk about with the rest of the party about the gold. Um, did I have any kind of money when starting this campaign?
Probably.
Because I am at zero, like I have none.
Depends on the background and whether you bought something to cover for something.
I didn't buy anything, and background-wise, I think it's noble.
No, I think you're a soldier.
Wait, it's supposed to be somewhere here. Soldier, yes, but I also have. Where is it? Position of privilege, background noble.
Then that should not be Because one of those is not right.
Then position of privilege is not right.
Yes, then just delete that.
Okay.
To answer your question, Manis, yes, I have some gold if you want to borrow.
I know that Benjen has 10 gold from his soldier background, so that would realistically be the gold price you would have.
Okay, adding 10 gold to mine then. I can't erase the position of privilege thing. Can you deal with that, please?
Again.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my question, because I wanted to talk about, pooling the resources and selling everything that we need to sell. And then yes, splitting the gold.
Yeah, one of us can do the wholesaling. If somebody has a high persuasion, can also try to haggle on the price.
I have a high persuasion rating.
I have a +1, so
Oh,
that's
I
all
have
I
a
have.
+5.
Okay, so you
5?
can
+4, sorry.
do the hagging that, and I have 25 gold to answer Lucian.
No, Benjen, you. Actually, Benjen should be the most charismatic person in the party since he's partially a charisma cloud. The shame is that Benjen decided to be me smash.
Yeah, don't worry. The fighter has taken persuasion courses.
Yeah, and after you haggle on the price and everything, I'm gonna do a sleight of hand to get some gold.
Not against that. Ah, lol.
Like realistically, once. Well, not gonna interfere with that. You stand to answer your question where you are. If you saw the picture of the
Mm-hmm.
settlement in the distance, you're roughly halfway. It's been like a little bit under an hour.
Okay.
Feels like longer, but yeah.
Is there only one way of entering the town from our side? I can see there's another entrance through or past the river on the other side.
If you want to try to cross the river while near death and try to cross the
No,
the
no.
No.
the land without the road, then yeah, that's possible.
I just
Nothing
want to
stopping
go
you.
to the first tavern we can
I
find.
mean, there's nothing preventing you from taking the long way around through the middle of the night in uncharted terrain. Trust me, it
You're
sounds like a great idea.
I'm smacking Manis on the head and say, "Stay the fuck out, stay on the road."
Like, there's a concept called Call of the Abyss where someone driving has like a thought of just like, I should drive off the road now. This
Yeah.
is literally that.
Into oncoming traffic, or the wondering how it is if you jump off the window when you're looking down. Yeah, I know that. So that's a thing. Like I thought it was just me being crazy.
This is the thing.
Let's get into town, find the tavern,
Rest,
sleep the hell out.
eat,
No,
drink.
Please.
Get drunk first.
No, I'm at 3 HP. Please. I can barely walk at the
You're
moment.
still not the worst person off.
Okay, but we should be like, if you think about real life, we should be like barely crawling to the city at 2 HP.
Yeah,
You
he's
want
not
to
wrong.
just
So we need
go
to
drink.
drink first
Okay.
to celebrate that we're still alive.
What if you get in a bar fight while drinking? Someone will spit at you and you die.
At least I'll die drunk.
Okay, can we enter the town, please, guys?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Benjamin can lead the way.
While we go to the town, I'm talking to Lancelot and I tell him to stay close to us.
Just gotta check. Yeah, no, he listens to you.
I died for him.
Yeah, no, he listens to you. I just forgot that you tried to shield him. Led on by Benton,
I
probably.
give him a piece of meat from my rations.
Bites your hand off.
No, he likes Manis. Manis hasn't tried to kill him. You're starting to get closer and closer to the village. It's more of a denser collection of ruined buildings. It's like basic wooden buildings that have fallen out by decay. One thing you do notice is that it is more like a very small community-based um, type of gathering of houses on both sides of the road. It's like there's like about 10 houses here closely uh, clustered together. Probably they farmed a greater area together. Um, Anyone that has a passive perception of 13 or above, could
Yes.
you say me?
Illusion.
Me as well, Benjamin.
Okay. The two of you hear the pretty steady clump, 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 clump of horse shoe.
Could be the barn.
No, there's something literally coming up along the road in front of you.
On a horse, I guess.
Yes.
Is it one set of horse we hear?
Yes. Make a perception check to the both of you. Can't really say clear. It's far far enough away, but there seems to be someone riding a horse towards this little settlement.
Lucian uh, trying to cover his forehead to see better in the distance. He accidentally pokes his eye with his thumb, so he doesn't see
Yeah.
anything.
In fact, he shields his own eyes with his hand. But yeah, there seems to be a horse coming steadily towards you.
This must be the baron. Or how
Can
was
they
his
detect
title?
speed?
Slow, steady.
Does he notice us?
You can't really see the figure either. It's just like you see a white brownish larger figure and then like a black cloaked figure on top.
Does it look armed?
Um,
Although with this perception,
You wouldn't be able to see.
it's high.
I say that we should take a bit of cover. Let's see what they do when they get in.
Okay. Is there any way to hide between the houses?
Yes, you could just like jump off the road and try to hide around the houses and see what up.
Okay, let's do that then.
Can I go to stealth as well?
You should all roll stealth checks if you want to hide.
Okay, if we're doing this,
Lucian hides perfectly. He just does it on the other side of the house, so he's pretty visible from the road. Manis, a bit confused, joins him, standing fully openly visible.
Many
front of the
thinks he's a tree.
I'm playing like a table outside.
Okay. Radar Radar smacks his forehead and runs up to the both of you and just like drags you along with him and like goes into hiding roughly around where Benjamin is and Azam is hiding. So you do actually pass that. You find yourself a nice hiding spot where you can see the road between the houses, and you can see a rider coming on top of a horse. He's holding a lantern out in his arm with his hand as if he's looking for something. The lantern is not lit. On a closer inspection, you can see that the flesh of the horse has fallen off in many different areas. The hands gripping the bridle is bony, with all the flesh gone. It's a skeleton on top of a skeletal war horse, slowly trudging as if looking for something. If you want to see how it looks like, there's a handout up for it.
Holy shit!
That's a
I
nice
didn't
image.
imagine the house, the town like this.
I think I said heavy decay.
He did say decrepit.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until now.
You hear just like that steady clump, 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 as the horse just slowly trots down the road. No rush, no sign of being alerted to your presence, just a figure trying to look forward in a unlit lamp. Sure,
Huh?
you're a bit you're a bit too uh, distracted by the fact that the horse is literally a mix between a withered skeleton and like a fleshy creature that was alive. You do see the skeletal aspects of his hands though, but you don't really get. Oh, persuasion. Never mind.
I clicked wrong. Sorry. Do I click again?
Yes. You do see partially under the brim of the hat, and you can see glints of armor and bone. Seems like this creature seems to be a armored dead dude of something. Why he's dead? Why he's armored? You don't know.
Is there any crest on him, like coat of arms or anything?
No, nothing that seems to draw your attention or symbolism here that tells you who he is, what he's doing here, or anything of the sort.
Do we hear anything else besides the horse?
It's pretty silent. It's like this eerie type of stillness before, well, the storm, pretty much.
Is he just passing through the town, or
Yes.
did he stop?
Oh, at this point, you can barely even hear the hoof prints in the distance going down the road from where you came.
Ahead of us or behind us?
Behind us from where you came.
No, I'm just trying to get a better bearing of it. Was he coming from the city towards where we were going, or he was from? Did he come from behind us, going towards the city?
It did come in front of you from the settlement or somewhere towards you to
And
where you came from.
okay, okay.
So he's currently moving away from you from where you came.
See.
Okay.
Let's go
I,
slowly towards the city.
yeah. Does any of the buildings stand out as like a good spot to rest? Like a little bit more preserved or something?
No, it's very decrepit. It's as if the standard of all these houses have been in the same state of decay pretty much.
It looks like
Do
nobody lived in this town for the better part of a century.
Something thereabouts, yeah.
Do you want to camp
Still,
here, Zuriel?
mm, I don't know. Maybe ghosts are here, but at least there will be cover from rain and everything. Isn't
I
there?
don't think we can put a fire because if the ghost passes, it will see it.
So we can go without fire. I
I
mean,
mean, all of you are humans, so you're pretty fucked in the dark.
Plus, there's ways of hiding a fire. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's one ghost that can be many.
Yeah, but that skeletal raider did not look like a ghost.
okay, that's comforting.
Just the sound from the road itself and uh, hooves and the horseshoes beating on the ground confirms that this was not a phantom.
So right now we are in the settlement.
Not in the
Yes.
city, something before it, right?
Yes.
Yes, which of the statements?
Yes. It would be yes, you're before the settlement, you're not at the settlement.
Ah, okay. I say we push forward towards the first settlement.
I mean, Lucian, you've rested before, so you know that you can sleep wherever you lie down. Seems like
I'm
everything
trying
is.
to find the same a spot to rest if we can find it here.
There is no shelter from weather or temperature. There is no shelter from creature of any sort whatsoever. The fact that it's also near a road um, make you prone to being discovered if something comes nearby the road at night. It's easier to travel by road or near the roadside than it is to do it in like thick ground.
So let's push it towards the city then.
But aren't we in the city?
No,
No.
No, this is something before the city, like a small village. The
yes.
city,
Okay.
it's
It's about 3/4 towards the settlement.
Okay. So we have about an hour still to
No,
go.
like half an hour at this point, I think.
Let's go then. I thought we are in the city, so
No. Uh,
we can get back and investigate once we rest.
the night starts growing longer and well, not the evening starts growing longer and longer. There's this fog that seems to be coming from the climate as well, making your visibility a bit like harder to see in front of you. So you're spending more time trying to listen attentively. After about 20-25 minutes of just straight out walking hurriedly as if you're fed up, you start seeing some tall shapes that are coming out of the dense fog that's at this point surrounding everything in this field land. Um, that sloppy sound of muddy ground then suddenly gives way to something hard, as if your foot has suddenly stepped onto stonework. And then your next step leads to more stone. Looking down, you can actually see cobblestones now. The tall shapes that were coming out of the fog, they become recognizable as houses and dwellings. You seem to have reached a village. The windows of each of the houses, they seem to stare out from pools of blackness. You can see light sources within windows from all the houses, or more or less, around you. There is no sound that cuts the silence around you, except for what sounds to be mournful sobbing that seems to be echoing through the streets. from a bit of a ways off. You have approached a settlement.
Do the houses look like normal? Okay, okay. Never mind, that answers my question. Is there a tavern that we can see?
You have just reached the bare edge of the settlement. You're not entirely sure where the hell you are. You can see a street going down further, whereas where that leads to, you don't quite know.
The sobbing, do you know? Do you see who is crying or?
No, and you also get the sense that it's a far ways off.
Okay, it's far away. Okay, you already told us.
We are on the main street, like, correct?
Yeah, just gonna be nice. Show you a map. You would be finding yourself coming in from this direction. I'm guessing you can see the map.
I can see the map.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there any pointers to where things are? Like tavern this way?
Street indicators, yeah.
You're not actually quite inside the. Like, considering you're here, if you can see the blue area on the map, you wouldn't be able to really see it.
Can we move here?
Let's
Yeah.
move forward.
The crossing.
As you're like walking in, you see what seems to be a village. It's not deserted by any means. You see like people out in the street as well. They seem to be going back and forth. Some of them stop and look at you and then hurriedly goes away as if they didn't really like seeing you there. But there is a population here. They seem to be human. They seem to be alive. You can see quite a few houses. Smoke coming out from chimneys and such. As for any like specific houses, there is nothing here that catches your attention. These seem to be regular dwellings.
Can we see a smoke that's bigger than the others? Because it may came from a bigger house, like a tavern.
No, these are mostly just at least from where you are here, they all seems to be pretty like smaller townhouses.
I
You do
try to.
see you do see that there seems to be something opening up here into like a larger open area. So for those of you that's familiar with towns and cities,
Sounds fair.
you would expect that to perhaps be a town square, and as such might have some interesting things nearby.
I try and stop one of the people and ask him where the tavern is.
You do pay attention to the fact that people seems to be avoiding you.
Let's go on. It's
When
probably
they see you, they try to go in a different direction.
Then
You like start calling at, hey you, son of a bitch, no, stop, stay, sit, bad boy.
I wanted to be persuasion, but I clicked the wrong button. So... but it was too fun to not let it run.
You've spent a bit too much time around Lancelot to be able to converse in a civilized manner, and people now, more and more people pay attention to you and hurriedly go off in a different direction.
I comfort Assam and tell him, don't waste your time. They don't want to speak you. Let's go on. to the square.
Woof woof.
Lancelot looks confused.
Intimidated even.
It's a very messy first view of the people. You come across in like this intersection. You see a couple of people standing near some form of a food cart of sorts. Seems to be buying something off a woman at the cart. You see some children like peering out at you from this little place and then just runs in between the houses. Like like shocked and scared.
I'll go talk to the woman at the food cart.
Okay. Uh, did the rest of you go to the square or are you following Menace?
I'm staying behind not to intimidate anyone, and I'm looking at Menace.
Okay. Are you trying to see how it's done?
Yes, I want to learn from the master, but he doesn't want to roll anything right now.
Um,
Well, there's nothing to roll yet. Wait.
you see a few males. One of them is like probably in his 40s, the other one is in his 20s. They seem to be like counting money. As you grow closer, you see that it's as you suspected, a food cart. Seems to be a woman selling pies of different types of variety.
Good evening, ma'am.
Eh, good evening, young man. If you could be a moment, I have some business to do with the other customers, so could you be kind and get in line?
Of course. I stand in line.
Like, guy buys like a couple of pies. The other guy has the second guy that's in his 40s. He's spending some time looking at the different types of notices on the cart that tells you the prices and types of pies. And he's a bit more indecisive. He doesn't know. He knows he wants something to eat. He just doesn't quite know what he wants in terms of flavors. Eventually, he manages to uh, get done with that, and he finishes his purchases and skips along happily uh, back in the direction you all came, and then goes to the right somewhere. Hi, young man. What can I get you today?
Ma'am, I've seen your pies, and I must confess we are all very much starving and would like a piece of pie. What would you recommend? Which ones are the freshest and the warmest?
Sorry, I'm just like looking for a freaking handout I made.
Warmer, sorry. Yeah,
Uh,
warmest is not a word.
since it's only you here, only you get the handout. Um, she thinks a bit and she's like, eh, well, they might not necessarily be completely warm now, but they should be quite tasty. Um, it depends if you want something sweet or if you want something more savory.
We'll go with savory. As we said, we are starving from a long road.
Um, I don't have any of the tavern's pie. Perhaps I would imagine they might have some left at the local tavern. Um, we do have both meat pies, traveler's pies, and the Zerfall speciality.
You were saying something about a tavern. Is there a tavern here that we can also find a place to rest at?
Ah, newcomers. If you go down the street, you'll come to our little village square, and to the right you'll see a huge building uh, that should be named the Blood of the Wine Tavern, which is where you would find the local serving place and the place to stay for the night for people that are traveling.
Oh, very much. We appreciate that information very much. In that case, since we'll probably grab something to eat at the tavern as well, would you be so kind to give us a pie for each one of us for dessert? So I don't know if you have apple pie or strawberry pie.
We have many types of pies. You should have seen the handout, by the way.
It didn't appear on my screen. Let me check.
It should stay under
Found it.
text.
Found it. I found it. I found it.
That's
Okay.
only for him, the
Yeah.
handout, right?
Yes. If any of you want to like come up next to Manis, you can all get the handout.
I think we
Okay,
should all
I do.
get there to get something.
Okay. So do you all head over to Manis?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would love a cinnamon maple pie.
Can we get a big pie and each of us take a slice of it, or do we all get one?
Well, it is like for an entire pie. There, you should all have gotten it now. That was cinnamon for you, dear.
Thank you.
That will be one goal.
Of course.
I would strongly recommend you to grab a glass of milk with that one. It is fantastic.
Did you say one gold?
One gold
One
each.
gold per pie. It's a whole
I don't
pie.
want. I don't want a pie. Sorry.
I'll get one and I'll split it with you.
I will just eat my rations.
Any specific pie you want, young sir?
I'd like the fruit cobbler pie.
Ah, the fruit cobbler. It's absolutely tasty. Here you go.
So what do I do? Just remove one gold from my inventory and put the pie in the backpack, or how do?
Yeah, just put fruit cobbler pie in your backpack, and Manis would have to do cinnamon maple pie. I'm just gonna roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Gonna roll a d10 for Rardar. If it's a 9 or 10, Rardar is not having. If it's a 1, it's the maple nut, 2, cinnamon, and
So on and so forth.
yes. Wait. Shit.
Yeah.
He's giving pies away.
He's buying a berry jelly pie.
I think you are the granny, right? From the poster?
Yes. If only my daughters would start getting children, yes. But, you know, they, it's a bit. They used to be mean to me, you see. Since I look a little bit old, but I'm actually not a grandmother yet. If only my daughters could start getting children.
I laugh at her jokes and say, "We just came into the Barovia realm through the gate, and we just went through this decrepit village. Could you tell us what happened there? Why is there no one living in the farmland, in the farmstead?"
Realm to the what? The what now? Came from the east, you say?
Yes.
Oh, didn't you see the signs?
No, we did not notice any signs. There was a very thick mist.
It says danger. Curse the state. Wait, did you come from the east or did you come from this village and then go east?
I know we came through from the east by the cursed house and then through the village that is decrepit.
You came through the Swallow Forest and the mists?
Yes.
Oh, you are one of those folk. I don't think a lot of normal people would know much about that. Um, it's like this entire valley is covered by this mist that keeps us out, and everyone that's gone into it has, never come out. Um, as for the estate, uh, some 100 years ago or so, the stories say at least, they used to live a family of cannibals there that used to like ambush and assault people that were coming to our valley and then ate them.
Oh,
And it got so bad that the Lord had to strike them all down. But apparently they had done such sinful deeds to all the innocents that uh, the estate was cursed. So, by uh, order of a Lord Strahd, they sealed off this entire area because, uh, or at least so the stories say, it's completely cursed and dangerous. I wouldn't dare to go over there and see.
is
As she mentions Walter Strad, I ask, is he still alive?
No, but his well, that would have been Strahd the third. Was it the fourth? But that would be the great counts. One, two, three, four. Count great grandfather of the one we have to.
and
Wait,
it,
great 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 grandfather. Wait, no, great grandfather.
Yeah,
Wait,
we got your point.
no, it's not the same.
um is the castle out overlooking the village the count's house?
Yes, it would be his estate. Or, well, not estate, it would be his personal castle, I suppose you could call it.
Can we ask? I want to ask the granny about the person that the wine was intended to. I don't remember the name of the person right now.
We're going to see how the castle is like looming over
Mm-hmm.
the village. I sent you another hand.
Really nice one.
Yeah. This.
Um, Assam, you would need to be more specific since you're talking about the letter she hasn't.
I don't remember the name of the person. I
Then
don't have it in the handouts.
Ask me, I'll tell you.
it would be difficult to tell you then, young man, if you do not know the name. Uh,
Lucian, do you know the name of the person on the wine bottle who was intended to?
I didn't say.
No, he did say.
Ismar
Master
Kojanovic.
Ishwaf, Master Ishwaf, delivered to Master Ishwaf.
young Ishmark the Lesser. Yes, he would be in this estate, this town, yes. His father was the burgomaster until he passed.
um Tell us please about the burgomaster a bit. Who is currently the burgomaster of the town?
We have none. Old Colian died a few days ago.
And Ishmar was his father, Kolyan's father.
His son.
Oh,
Colian would be the son of Ishmark, which is why uh, Ishmark would be called Kolyanovich, son of Kol.
oh, I understand now. Thank you for explaining. Um, what happened to Irina Kolyana?
Nothing. I think she's, well, her young lady Irina is still grieving, I think, together with her brother Ishmark.
Uh,
I mean, I, I, I don't really frequent the burgomaster's house or, you know, rub elbows with the important people of town. I'm just trying to make a living after my hubby died.
we understand. We found this gift that was sent that is that has the name of Ishvan on it as the receiver. So we're trying to find where his home is to deliver the wine, the gift.
That would be down to the village square and down to the left to the mansion down there. Although it could also be that Ishmark would be after old Colian died. The rumor is that he's been drinking quite a bit, so he might actually be at the tavern drinking, or I don't know.
Also, our friends here are a cleric and a paladin. Is there a church or a temple of prayer close by so they can go and perform their spiritual rituals?
Yes, there is. We have a small church located near the village graveyard. You should be able to see that as well when you're going to the village square. It's like in a straight direct.
Thank you. Also, is there a merchant residing here in the town or a place where we can sell our wares and purchase more equipment?
Make an insight check.
1 second, I need to open the character sheet.
In the meantime, I asked her about Strand von Zarovich, if she knows anything.
You don't really notice much of her response. It's like, hey, yes, we have a mercantile store owned by a fellow named Bildrath. If you want to spend gold for things, that's where you go. Uh, yeah,
Such insight.
yeah. Manus didn't notice anything out of the ordinary of that reply.
Tell us more about the Von Strands.
Who?
Strand von Zarovich.
The Von Zarovich, sorry.
The who? Oh, Lord Strahd. It is Strahd.
I'm sorry, I am not from this realm and I am not accustomed to the accent.
You have a very weird accent, young one. Hey, you must be coming from far away. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say really. The von Sarovich family has uh, been the rulers of Barovia since I was born. Uh, from what I hear, since before me mother and her mother and so on.
Indeed, you have a very keen ear. I am not from these realms. I came here some time ago from the castle of Helfern once my company was disbanded after taking part in the war against Sylvania.
Why were these ferns hellish?
Oh, they were not. That was the name. Helfern means saints in my native language. It's the order of the saints.
That's a very weird name.
Out of character. I can't think of anything else. Tavern, merchant, church, graveyard, town hall. I think I covered basically anything. Do we need to know anything else?
Does she know about this Miss Petrova?
Oh yes.
Or any rumors she may have heard.
Okay. Dear Granny, tell us if you heard about Miss Petrova. We also found a letter that we would like to deliver to her.
Petrovna? Uh, Petrovna. Sure, it's not Mironovna or Orovna.
Pretty sure, yes.
Not Dargovna?
No,
Konstantinovna?
no,
Grigorova?
no.
Uh, uh, well, mm, no. I. Petrona? No, hey, I'm sorry, young one. That doesn't really uh, ring any bells to me.
Also, we're also looking for work. If we can help anyone in the town, if you know that anyone needs help, or if you need any tasks completed that you are unable to perform yourself, to tell us, and we will be happy to help as much as we can.
Ask
I
her about
mean,
the vampire. I whisper in his ear.
if are you able to operate ovens?
Damn, I should have taken that cooking skill. No, unfortunately, I'm a smith of trade.
Oh, I mean, I have two daughters that would be looking for a suitable husband to give me grandchildren. You could take over the family business.
As soon as I hear that, I point to Menis and Lucian and say, "They are your guys."
I wave my crippled hand and say I cannot do make pies with this hand.
I don't think you could operate the heavy machinery of the windmill, young one. I mean, look at how crooked I am after just 20 years.
He still has a lot of life into him.
I don't.
I
That's why I
I
want grandchildren before I die.
Maybe that part is working well for him. We don't know.
I ask her whether she has heard about this vampire that's tormenting the land.
Oh, if you think vampires is the worst thing we have to deal with here, you have no idea.
What's the worst thing?
Well, do you have a list?
I have time to make a list.
Well, we have lycanthropes. We have the undead. Then we have what seems to be other unliving creatures, demons. We have all manner of corrupted beasts. I mean, there's this rumor that's been going on that Lord Strahd is in fact a vampire. But I mean, well, he hasn't killed me. I mean, just like last year, I had to run for my life for a wolf, like fucking wolves everywhere. And I don't even know if that was like a wolf or like a lycanthrope trying to. Well, I don't know.
I ask her if she has a picture of her daughters. Maybe we can find a suitable husband for them in our travels.
Sadly, not. I don't go around walking around with paintings on me. Well,
You should
I mean,
if you want to find husband.
are you calling me fat enough to carry a painting on?
Ah,
Forgive him. He's been he hasn't been around people much.
Right, so if you had bought a pie, I would want that pie back almost.
don't mind my friend. He's a cleric. He's not used to dealing with other regular folk. Only with priests and monks.
To be honest, we have a priest in the village, and he's not as and he's literally screaming every night.
Is he screaming?
Why is the
Why?
priest
Do you
screaming
know?
every night?
Uh, you'll hear soon enough. That reminds me, it's getting dark. I better hobble my back to the old bone grinder.
Is there any issue if we stay out in the night, or do we need to get in house?
Yeah, you're gonna fucking die.
What do you mean?
If you travel out at night, you might end up meeting all of these horrible things that you were wondering was around. They come out at night, young one. You do not want to be outside.
Then allow us to help you with your food cart back to your homestead, and then we'll make our way to the tavern for the night.
It'll be fine. I think you won't be though, because like if I were to go back, you would not make it back to the village in time, young one. And to be honest, if you were to come with me, then I would be trying my best to make you into my son-in-law.
That
And
would be the worst they saw.
there's a reason why my daughters haven't found someone yet.
It's definitely not due to the mother-in-law, I can assure you of that.
They inherited a bit too much of their father, I'm afraid.
Was their father one of those creatures that you keep telling us about?
No, but me grandmother was in fact.
What she
Werewolf?
was?
No, me grandma, she was born when like a fiend attacked her mother. So we've been having like fiendish blood in our family ever since. It's why I'm a bit weird.
Whoa.
Oh yes.
I whisper to the guys, let's get out of here to the tavern. Drink, eat, and sleep.
In that case, Grandma, we shall make our way towards the tavern and let you pack up for the night. And we'll probably see each other tomorrow in the morning.
Oh yes. You should hurry up though. People always want some of my pies.
I whisper to Lucian, do you want me to steal a pie for you?
No, I'm good.
Okay, I leave then.
Good night.
Good night, guy.
As she like lifts up the cart, she turns to you, Lucian. Actually, make a sleight of hand,
Wait, what?
Me or Lucian?
Lucian, because he's whispering.
What's this? What do we... Oh, okay, I
There's
found
Sleight
an-
it.
of hand to see if you're actually whispering silently. Okay. As she lifts up the cart, she turns and like, I mean, it's fruit, it's cinnamon, it's maple nuts. I mean, how freaking fiendish can that be? Do you have an aversion against blueberries? You would be the best fit for a daughter if I hated my daughter. Soft.
I laugh
I
loudly.
keep telling her, ignore him. He hasn't been around people so much and he doesn't know how to behave himself. And I smack Lucian on the head.
I catch your hand. Oh, haha. Before you do.
I can run a sleight of hand against you to see if I manage to hit you in the head.
Let's go.
Come on, let's carry on.
Where are
Yeah, let's
you
go.
roughly heading?
Tavern. Next
Yeah,
to the
through
town square,
the
the big
town square.
house on the right. I'm guessing it's this one.
When I get to the
Yes.
town square, I want to look around, so not directly to the tavern, for me at least.
As you come here-ish, you see there's like a very large building to your left. And there's like a very sparse light coming from the building. Yeah, where man is just pinged. There's a sign hanging over one of the doors saying Bildrat's Mercantile Store. Seems to be closed, however, since it's that late. But here you would find a store of sorts.
So just to recap, that's the store. This would be the tavern. This
Yes.
would be the town hall slash house of the Burgomaster.
From what she said, yes.
Church.
Yes.
Um,
From what she said.
They are all conveniently brown for us to remember them.
yeah, actually, that's a very keen observation there. It
What
seems
is
that
this small house here? It's probably of interest.
Make a perception check. You seem to be, at least as you've come to the town square, you've gotten closer to that source of crying and sobbing you heard as you were entering the village.
Okay.
Are
Could
there
we come
any
from that
indicators
house?
in the town square?
No,
All posts or well,
just a
I don't know.
huge open area.
Dungeon
As
Master.
I can't resist the cry, so I go a little bit down this road.
Okay.
I see him going there and I ask the other, should we follow him? Maybe he will need help.
I just want to see if the crying gets louder.
It gets louder.
Okay, go more. I do not cannot resist this cry. I go in
Where do
front
you
of this
go?
house, the brown house.
Seems to be coming from that house.
I knock on the door.
Oh, complete silence. Just sobbing.
I follow him and I try to peek out through the window.
I stop in the middle of the road and say, "Can we leave?" Um,
You try to peek in the window, but there is actually no window that you're able to peek through since the windows are completely boarded up and barricaded.
okay, that's not a
Is there any
household.
light coming from inside?
Um, Not from the first floor. Hard to see if there's anything else from the second.
I tell
Since
Lucian
you're
we can check it next day.
Okay. Are there any passerbys, like people?
No, you seem to notice that they've all fucked off inside since it's now getting pretty freaking dark.
Okay. Let's check it out tomorrow. I hope whatever's crying inside will not be
Die.
in vain by then.
We make our way to the tavern.
Okay,
I enter in the tavern.
hold your horses.
Okay.
We don't have horses.
Well, then you should have held them then before they went in.
Guys, sorry, can I have 1 minute break? I
Yep.
need to check something.
That 1 minute will allow you to set everything up. Oh, this is like this is the outside of the tavern. I get it.
Fucking place yourself, Lancelot. Just waiting for Cubic.
Mm-hmm. In the meanwhile, I take off my cape and I'm covering my weapons, like I'm bundling up my weapons and bow and shield and covering them into the cloak and making it in a bundle that I throw over my back.
Okay.
Back, sorry.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Did I miss anything?
No, I didn't say anything. You quickly pick out what's probably the tavern by uh, the noise coming from the building. From the building, there seems to be coming like a single column of light that's like lighting up the main square, which is pretty bright considering it's now dark. It's still foggy. As you're approaching the building, there's a sign that's hanging a bit like slanted as if it's about to fall down soon. And the sign just says "Blood on the Wine," like single VINE, like a grass vine. You can also notice that the N has been like crossed out, and there's like a F written on top of it. So it says "Blood of the Wife."
I chuckle.
Bro,
It's a pretty large building all around. Um, I mean, like it's a large building. It's slightly run down, as if it's seen its better days. But judging from the noise instead, it still seems fairly popular.
any horses outside?
Not currently, no.
But
Yeah,
it does have
probably.
like a stable or something.
Yes,
Probably.
you see there's places and signposts to tie horses and such. But you get the sense that they have probably been moved somewhere.
Is there anybody outside around it? Like a
You
bellboy or something?
cannot see anyone.
Let's get in, guys.
All you can see is a dumbbell, but that's what you see when you look at Lucian.
Haha.
I tell Menace, go ahead, enter.
I enter.
And I'm trying to remove this fucking door. There we go.
Are those people, right?
Yeah.
That we are seeing.
You like Manis opens the door like not like dramatically or anything, but like he opens both of them and you can see Lancelot just like dart inside. Um you see people. You see both men, women, uh not much in the department of children, but like you see adults of all types. That's the commoner tokens that you can see like here. They're just like literal folk.
I
Tell
go
me.
towards the bar and I ask the barkeep to give me something to drink, to smoke, and ask him about a place to sleep.
He points to one of the placards on the behind him.
What? Plackets?
Yeah, like a poster.
Ah, okay, I understand.
Does a twin bed mean that two people can sleep on it? Or is it one bed?
Twin beds would mean that it's room for two, yeah.
And queen, it's for
For
four
one.
or three.
No.
Queen is deciding if you want to be comfortable or not.
I see.
Looking at the price of the glass of wine, I go in and order one for myself.
Okay, you have a glass of wine.
I will order a glass of wine. Actually, no, a pitcher of wine and soup of the day.
Okay. Um,
I'm
sorry.
ordering the same as Menace. Also, how do I convert gold into
One gold
SP
piece,
silver?
100 silver pieces.
Okay.
I sit on the table next to the bar with my wine.
So, Lucian gets his. You wanted a glass of wine and nothing
Yes.
else?
Yes, nothing else.
Who was the next?
Menace.
Soup.
Menace with a pitcher and soup.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
How much is the soup of the day? It doesn't say.
Soup of the day depends on supplies. Currently,
So
you can see as you're asking the barkeep you would get that it's like not as much of a soup, that it's more like a hybrid between a soup and a stew. So it's 2 silver for a vegetable and meat combination.
Oh, I'll
Okay,
take
I'll
that.
get one. I'll get one as well.
So 2 silver for everyone that wants the soup.
Okay, so 2 silver and one features. That's 3 silvers. That's 97 left.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to share a twin bedroom with Hassan, so we're going to pay 3 gold, with like 1.5 gold each.
And keep in mind, we also have
Lancelot with us.
Lance- but he can sleep on the floor. I
Yeah,
know.
he's a
Yes.
dog.
So that's 150, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I've updated my goal.
Same.
Can we also start eating and that? What does the soup and drinks give us?
Uh, Gives you a nice feeling inside your body after being fucked up for a day or two.
Okay, and I'm sharing some of the soup and the pie with Lancelot as well.
Which type of pie didn't you have the berry pie?
Let me
Lancelot is not going to enjoy.
fruit cobbler pie.
He would not be very interested in the fruit cobbler.
Okay, so I just share the soup of the day with him.
How do you share a soup with the dog? Come on.
It's a combination between soup and stew, as he said,
Yeah.
which means it's a bit more not
Thick.
that liquid. It's a
And it
bit
had
thicker.
had meat pieces inside it as well, so he would be
Yeah.
able to eat that.
But how does it drink? I've never seen a dog eat soup.
I
Yeah, I've seen mine dog eat soup, so yeah, it can.
Yeah, go.
I rummaged through my backpack and pull out a piece of jerky from my ration and give it to Lancelot.
Vardar decides to sit down, and after he buys a pitcher and a meat.
I asked the barkeep after he finishes everybody if there's any work for some adventurers. Out of character question. Do I need to do this like in a voice and stuff, or can I do it like this
Yes, you would have to do it in a voice.
in a voice? Okay. So barkeep, please tell me, are there any jobs for some travelers which are interested in the adventures in this town?
No, that would be assuming you're welcome.
What do one must do to be all welcomed?
Be dead.
Be dead? If
Listen, young one, we don't like your folk here. Whenever one of you folk end up showing up in town, everything goes to hell for the rest of us. If you could all hurry up and die, that would be nice. Until then, you're more than welcome to spend your money here. But yeah, as he says that, you hear a very high coughing from somewhere in the room, and he just like, sorry, that was a bit rude.
You don't say.
I look around the room to see who coughed, and I remember that the granny said the burgomaster's son was spending his days or nights drinking here, and try to see if I can find somebody which is more, yeah, that one.
You found
Hey,
him.
you said I have to narrate stuff, so I'm trying
It
to
is,
narrate.
guys.
Leave me
Technically,
be.
Roll a
we don't
perception for
know
Assam.
these. It's not like the tokens, all of them are the same, but for us, it's different people, so we don't know that.
Azam is a bit like taken back by that entire statement. Lucian, you would have noticed that one of the women in front of you, sitting near the fireplace, would have been one of the women that like coughed very annoyed at the bar.
Okay. Does she look anything suspicious, strange?
She
Pause.
looks colorful. In fact, this is something you all notice. Uh, in this room, the most people are dressed in a variant of black, gray, or white. There's very little coloration in the clothing of most people. However, the three women next to the fireplace and one of the fellows near like the fire pit seems to be draped in more brighter colorful clothing and seems to have more of a, you know, happier attitude than the rest of the sourpusses within this tavern, because the rest of them seems pretty like dreek and dreary and like bleak. They don't seem to be very lively folk. Not the barkeep either.
I tell to the barkeep, is there any place around here where somebody may play a game of chance, of cards or dice?
Probably.
And can you tell me where it is? I have some gold I want to get rid of.
In town.
Amanis, we can hear you type.
Yeah, I'm typing to
We
the
can
group.
hear you. Like click, 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 click.
This isn't a mechanical keyboard. Okay, you done, Yuan?
Yeah.
Okay. Did we eat, or can we like fast forward through time and assume that we finished eating and drinking?
You also notice that Radha tries to like split um, the meat pie into.
Oh, by the way, I also ate my pie. The cinnamon maple one, and I ask everyone if there's if anyone wants a piece.
No, I just ate half of it and gave and keep the other half.
Um, as Radha tries to offer his slice of the meat pie to Lancelot, Lancelot bites at him, but Radha manages to push his hand back. Is going to attempt.
I buy another pitcher of wine. I already removed one silver piece from my inventory.
Pitcher of wine. When did you drink that one? That's
No,
a
no, no.
lot of wine.
I didn't drink. I didn't finish drinking mine. I just bought another one.
For whom? Ah, okay, I get you.
Okay, and I pick the pitcher of wine and go to the table next to the fireplace with the women.
Okay.
I place the pitcher on the table and say, "Thank you for intervening right a moment ago. I can say we were very warmed. We received a very warm welcome into the town, but it's nice to see there are still people that uphold their manners."
Manners doesn't really have much to do with it. We just don't want to fire another barkeep.
Oh, so you would be the owners of the tavern.
Yes, and if you want to be a patron of the tavern, please leave us alone.
Thank you for your hospitality in that case. I leave the pitcher on the table and go back to my seat.
Some of you that's been trying to pay attention, would he like hear them start talking amongst themselves and then they start pointing out all of you? Seems like pointing at Assam, shaking head, pointing at Radar, shaking head, pointing at Lucian, vigorously shaking head, pointing at Benjen, some shrugs.
I go next to Manis and whisper in his ear, there is some suspicious guy over at the end of the tavern that's looking at us,
I go
stands
to
out
that
from the crowd.
I go to that guy with my pitcher of wine and I tell him, Uh, would you like to play a game of cards?
What guy?
The one on
Game
the end.
of chance. Yeah, that one. The one that it's in colored clothes.
Attire.
Oh, um, I just want to be left alone.
I tell him, okay, can you tell me where the Burgenmaster son is? Is he here?
Yep.
Are you?
Am I the Burgomaster's son?
Yes.
Who's asking?
A friend.
Then no.
Do we overhear the conversation or is it silent?
You're literally on the other side of a tavern while there's a lot of people in the tavern. No. You would have to roll a perception check on that one.
I will do. So, give me a second.
It's not good.
In the meantime, I tell the guy, I have a letter to deliver to him.
A gift, you mean?
A gift and a letter. I'm just talking about the letter.
Suggest you
What
found
letter
him
do we
then.
have? Oh, yeah. We have
What
a
did you say, Yuan?
I suggest you find him then.
Okay, I go back to the barkeep and I ask him where, if Burgenmaster's son is here, because I have to deliver him a letter.
Make a persuasion check. Or intimidation or deception, depending on what you want, to be honest.
I just want to know where that person is. But with a role like that, I don't know.
He is somewhere in town.
I interjecting the conversation and say, dear please sir, dear sir, while traveling towards the town from the east, we stumbled upon a crate that looks like a gift wrapped crate for the son of the Burgen Master, Istvan. And we are just trying to find him and deliver this crate to him because we don't feel it might be something that he's interested into, and it would be a shame just to let it waste on the side of the road.
Oh, yeah.
That's how
Very
you
good
do
to say.
persuasions, my friend.
I'm sorry to tell you, there is no Ishvan here.
And that's the answer for it.
Ishmark, you mean, not Ishwan.
That's not what Menace said.
Ah, god damn it, man.
Ishmark, God fucking
I
damn it.
go next to them and tell the guy a little bit of goat my loosen your tongue, and I slide a goat piece toward him. We're looking for Ishmark.
He takes the gold coin and says, funny coincidence. That guy is also looking for.
So do you know where he is?
Yeah,
Where?
as I told him, in town.
So why don't you like newcomers?
I think
Don't ex-
he looks towards the women near the fireplace, and one of them is like staring directly at him. It's
I
like,
I'd assume most of the earnings of a tavern come from newcomers and weary travelers finding a place to rest. That just doesn't feel very productive to be, you know, resentful about the ones that put more bread on your table.
people always have to get drunk.
Indeed, but this looks like a pretty big establishment for just a place where people get drunk.
You have not seen how drunk people are in the morning.
Well, that is true. I finish the pitcher of wine and the food, and I whistle towards Lancelot to follow me, and I go towards my room upstairs.
Okay.
I go towards the ladies and I say good night. Thank you for having us here, and I go back to up to the room.
What's your charisma score?
Who's?
Azam's.
You mean the -1 that I have?
Yeah, they don't. They just like brush you off.
Well, I do try.
I reach the top of the stairs and turn around towards the establishment and say, "Come on, guys, we have a long day ahead of us." I look towards the women and say, "Good night," and I look towards the bartender and say, "Have a nice evening," and then carry on.
Just got better.
Just get what?
You didn't quite hear, but the bartender muttered something.
Did I hear it before I go up? I was
Roll
on the table.
Yeah, with your passive perception, you would have heard it.
What did he say?
It just got better when he noticed Manis was leaving.
Ah, I laugh to myself and get up the stairs as well.
As they all do that, I'm going to sit here and just say to these, this picture isn't going to finish itself.
I didn't quite hear that last part.
This picture isn't going to finish itself.
Oh, it won't. Alenka, could you free up a chair for this young fellow? And you see one of them just like get up from his chair and just like saunter over to the bar and then just like, head into like one of the back rooms.
This was a woman, right? That left.
Yes.
All three of them.
Okay. Okay.
So, what do you think of the wine?
Tastes closer to piss than wine. Just up and enjoy the night.
No, the depressing part?
Not yet.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to break your spirits then.
Go on, Pete. It's your RP moment.
Go on, Casanova. Let's see how you can charm them this time.
With a sack of goat.
I'm on the stairs and telling Menace he wants to get laid tonight.
I lower my head towards the sun and say, "Isn't he under a oath of celibacy?"
Who knows? New lands, new stuff.
Well, first of all, you would have to pay for it. And secondly, I think we would be more concerned about breaking you.
Ooh.
Now we just need to talk a price.
I don't know. How cheap are you? Okay. You'll find the sow in the stables. Have fun.
Hey, I've got high charisma. This should be working.
What? Yeah, okay. You can try to make a persuasion check, but her charisma is higher than yours.
Meaning she's more beautiful than you.
I mean, if you took some.
Beat that one, Yuan.
It's like I'm just gonna ask: is everyone in the stairs looking at this going on and trying to listen in?
I am.
course.
Yes, we wanted to see if he
Oh,
breaks
okay.
breaks or not.
Then I have a bad news for you, Pete. Benjamin. You find yourself being very convincing in this entire endeavor. But there's two things barring you here. One, I can take a picture, but she rolled a natural 20. And two, your 20 is not actually a 20. You don't know why, but someone changed fates for that 20 to become an 8.
A 9, you mean?
Mm, no, an 8.
No, he's talking about something else. It's not the second
Yes.
roll.
Okay. Okay.
Lucian and Manus,
Yeah.
make a perception check.
Wait a second, because it's easier said than done. Perception.
Lucian, you would notice that Radar's eyes blink white and he waves a finger just before Benjamin says what he says. So yeah,
Mystery solved.
not that anyone other than you would have an inclination of that.
I smile at him because I find all this funny.
One of the things that you all pay a bit of attention to when it comes to these women, at least the two that you can see left here, is that they're young, probably in their 20s or 30s. Um, they are, in their own right, quite different from all the other people in this tavern. From like a general aspect, the population that was in the tavern before they ended up going, they could be considered European, uh, like pretty like
Caucasian.
fair Caucasian-ish. These women have more of a like a tanned skin tone, uh, pretty like raven dark hair, something you'd be more willing to like see in Spain or something more of a Mediterranean country perhaps. So
Gypsy like.
they're more gypsy like. In fact, their attire is more like flashy, more like potentially gaudy, I guess you could say. Um, and like very like there's a lot of like knickknacks on their necks, their hands, like their clothing. Seem to be pretty like different culturally from the rest of the tavern.
Totally gypsy, as you explained it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I be, not beat like I beat my palm over the rails of the stairs and say, okay, show's over, time to go to bed, and go up the stairs.
The other woman that you're sitting next to, Benjamin, just like casually pats your thigh and says that, "Don't worry, Soravia is like this to everyone." And like the snappy one that kinda insulted you said, "Yes, she just went upstairs."
Do we hear that?
You are already
No,
upstairs.
you went upstairs.
Okay.
You are the queen, Menace.
Mm-hmm.
No, only Pete would have heard that comment. And to be honest, Pete wouldn't know too.
Okay, I'm tired of the show and I follow. Up, go upstairs to sleep.
Okay. Depends on Pete then.
Yeah, I just say goodbye and head upstairs too.
Okay. You find your rooms. Did anyone of you share your room?
Yes.
Yes, me and
Yes.
Manis and
Me and
Lance.
Lancelot.
Ardal.
Okay. So how much would Rardor have to deduct?
How much are other?
1.5.
1.5, yeah.
Wait, I paid for the room, so he doesn't need to do anything.
Okay.
I
Oh.
mean, already deduced 3 gold from my own.
You can ask 2 gold from Rarda.
I don't mind.
Um, you all try to settle in for the night.
Try.
Yes.
That involves what's it called? Uh, that there's a possibility of one not being able to.
An attack on the tavern.
I look at Manis and I say, when you sleep, don't fart towards me. And I tell Lancelot good night, and I try to go to sleep.
Do you kiss him on the head?
Me or
Lancelot,
Lancelot?
yes. Lancelot, yes. For
Maybe
Manis, I
Maris.
tell him I have a knife ready if you try anything.
Yeah, technically you don't know him too well.
As for what happens, I've all shared a handout to you labeled personal story.
Ah, found it.
Okay.
Oh, so this is different for everybody, right?
I don't
Yes.
know.
Give us a minute to read.
Okay, cool.
Wait. I'm not done.
Out of character, did you write this, Yuan? Because it's very nice written.
Yep.
Seriously?
Yeah,
What the
this is not
hell,
part of
man?
the
Yeah.
story. This is his writing 100%.
You're
That's
good.
amazing.
Mm-hmm. Considering he did mine just today.
I did all of yours today.
Oh, I thought you had more time on
Oh,
everyone else's.
fuck.
No, I had no time whatsoever.
Man, that's
I spent the
excellent.
last 3 hours before the start to literally do that.
Very well done, man. I mean, I'm still half the way through, but it's very well written.
Yeah, I'm ready.
In case you're wondering, I finished before Virgil.
Man, it's not a race.
No, it's not. I'm a fast reader.
Also, lengths vary,
Probably, yeah.
as the innkeepers would have told you if you ended up in bed with them.
They are using out of character stuff. They are using the stuff with the corruption in WoW, which happened a couple of years ago to research coronavirus.
A couple of years, meaning 15 years ago.
I don't know when that thing that infested Iron Forge and everybody kept dying all over the place.
Yeah, that was during the Zul'Gurub time. So, yeah. The original Zul'Gurub. No, back in Classic. So it's 12, 15 years ago.
I'm done. And man, you're pretty good, man. You should write a book.
The Adventures of Lancelot and five other stupid people.
Should have seen the story that I had to write for Lancelot. It was all woof 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 woo.
You can write a book like that.
It sounds like a Wookiee book from Star Wars. Oh,
How was that Romanian commercial with the Crazy Monkey?
You all get your spell slots back, your hit points back, everything back.
He
is
dies,
it for
advantage, luck rolls, spell slots.
You get half your hit dice back. But luck rolls and everything like that, yeah.
Oh yeah, had half of
Um,
true. But in our case, like at level 3, it means 1.5. So that rounded down means 1 hit die.
Yeah, which means we should pretty much be back at 4.
yeah. As soon as I wake up, I see Radar still sleeping, and I just go down to the bartender. Uh, oh, he's not here. And I
yes.
yell, "Can someone give me a drink, please?"
I wake up, I see Lancelot and Manny still sleeping. I pat Lancelot on the head and we both go down.
I see a Sam getting down, and I just ignore him and tap on the bar and say, "Where is the bartender? I need a drink now."
Yes.
Give me a full bottle, please.
Okay, that would be 1 gold.
1 gold? What? It was 1 silver yesterday.
No, that was for a pitcher.
Okay, sorry. 1 pitcher. What is a pitcher? I mean, if not a glass.
2 or 3 glasses, depending on size.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 pitcher, please.
Okay. Chief, like, uh, uncorks a bottle and like pour it into like one of the pitchers, and they're not like huge a liter type pitcher. It's more like a smaller size portion than that, enough to fill like 2 or 3 glasses. Yeah. She hands you it.
I say, pour one for me too, please. And is there any place quieter where we can sit and talk?
Your rooms, I suppose. Uh, to be honest, this place is always pretty jam packed in the morning and jam packed in the evening. People have a. You're new here, aren't you?
Yes, I'm new here.
Yes,
I
that was.
just want to get my layout of the tavern and of the land.
Well, as you probably have realized, life expectancy in this place is, at least for your kind, uh, it's it's fairly short. For the rest of us, It's just miserable.
Okay, is there something we can do to make your life more unmiserable? Me, what?
Miserable.
You can make
Yeah,
a
that what?
coin donation so I get richer.
Is there any work that you have for, or something that you heard somebody has for some adventurers that aren't afraid of bad things?
This is Barovia. It's all bad things.
So you know somebody or have some work for us?
Eh, well, there are a few individuals that perhaps would be more inclined to seek help. The local priest Donovich would be one of them. Um, Also, considering how he ends up complaining most of the evening when he's getting drunk, uh, well, Ishmark the Lesser over there, and she points at this guy, uh, seems to have his own worries at the time.
Out of character, is this the same moment that we saw last night or a different one?
This is one of the different ones. This is the one that was asked to go away when Benjen sat down. She
Okay,
seems
no.
to be the friendly one of the three.
Okay, knowing that, I look at her and say, "So, can you tell me what's the deal with your two friends from last night? They didn't seem very friendly towards us, or the barkeep, whatever."
What do you know of this place?
Almost nothing. We just arrived here last evening, and he, you are the first people that we had a more lengthy conversation, or that I had a more lengthy conversation.
Um, you realized you're trapped, right?
Trapped? What do you mean?
Once you get in, there's no way out.
I see that Menis is down as well, and I wave to him to come join me, and I offer him some of the wines that I have, and I continue talking to the
I politely
barkeep,
decline and ask the barkeep, do we have coffee?
No.
I take the
and
wine.
I and I continue asking, "What do you mean we are trapped? How? Can you tell me more about this?"
You've seen the mists, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes, it chased us in here, actually.
That is what the mist does. It keeps people in and does not let people go out.
And do you
Unless,
know
of
any stories
course,
of the mists? How it
yes.
came to be?
How it came to be, I wouldn't know. All I know is that there's only one way out. Well, two, but you are not Vishtana.
How is that? What can Ishtana do?
I am Vishtana. My people can travel the mists freely. Sadly, you cannot, because you are not Vishtana.
So Ishtana is like a race, or it's
It's our
something
people.
Vishtana. Ah, okay.
So you would have to be born a Vishtana or a Vishtani to be able to travel,
I
as is the
see.
command of Lord Strahd.
And the other way to get out of the mist, which one? Which is it? 2 feet forward in a casket of wood?
No, you could, if you're curious, run straight ahead into the mist and run as fast as you can, straight forward and see what happens.
I'm a
If
bit
you
afraid that will kill me.
if you run fast enough, you will not die.
Do you know anybody who managed to get out this way
Yes,
and alive and with all his sanity?
Yes. Problem was, they just ended up where they started.
I see.
It's safe to
You,
assume that the mist is not natural.
Ah, and she points to Manus. Safe indeed.
and the Baron von Strad, it's the one that decided that the Vishtana can ride the mist, right?
Uh, I wouldn't be able to tell you that story, I'm afraid. You would have to talk to Madame Eva for that story. Um, how we were gifted with that,
It's
I just know
she.
it's in our gifts.
Where can we find?
She would be living with the rest of our people, not far away from the village in that Ser pools.
I see. Would you please excuse me? You said that that guy over there, it's Burgomaster's son.
That would be Ishmark the Lesser, yes.
Please excuse me then. I have some urgent matter to discuss with him, and I'll be back to continue our conversation. But I said that I go to Ish, whatever his name is. I'm not good in with names anyway. And when I get to him, I give him
Ishmark.
okay, Ishmar. I give him the bottle and the letter and said, "We found out that on the ground, and it's addressed to you."
Okay, make 5 dexterity saves.
5.
5.
In the meanwhile, I tell ask the barmaid. Excuse me, eggs and bacon.
No, no, no. Save, save,
I'm doing.
save.
Another one.
I
Come on.
clicked.
Fail.
Okay. You see, I clicked, but
I see. Okay, so you manage to navigate yourself through this person, this person, this person, this person, but not that person. So you make it there, and as you're about to like push yourself to the side of that person, you end up knocking into them.
I'm
Like,
sorry, ma'am.
and it's not a man. Like the icon is of a woman, but it's called a commoner, so it's just literally townsfolk. The guy in itself is like a. Have you eaten something super sour at some point that makes your face just contract in like a pissed off expression?
Yeah.
This is
Like,
like a 50-year-old guy like that with a resting, sour eating face.
oh, okay. Fuck.
And you can see that when you're bumping into him purely by accident, you hear like something like roll on the uh, bar counter as like you literally spill the drink. And in that second, the guy just like, what the
Let me buy you another drink, sir. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused. And I asked the barkeep to get a new pitcher of wine for that guy.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
How
Disadvantage.
how do I do this disadvantage?
You
Do I
just
need
click on
to?
it and you select the lowest roll.
No, I only have one roll, as you see.
Roll
Just roll
twice.
twice.
Then roll twice. Yeah.
Why does he have it like that? I mean, it's a good question.
You can put on a toggle or not. Okay, as you say that, you motion for the woman on the bar to fill up the pitcher. She does. Hand it to the guy who takes the thing in his hand, and he's going to try to smash it over your head. That's,
That's for me trying to be a nice guy. Yeah,
that's going to be an 18 to hit.
it does hit.
Okay. Give me a second.
And don't forget to subtract 1 silver from your for the picture.
Just okay, so I'm going to describe what happens here, and forgive me because this is like something that I have to uh,
Just tell
move
me,
stuff.
will I die or not?
Wait, be patient.
Well,
Okay.
as
What the
that
fuck is
happens,
that?
you inadvertently cause something that I would like to call barb roll. Now let me get this monster up so I know the stat. Barb roll. Okay, so it's. Ooh, okay. You end up taking 8 damage from both like bludgeoning and piercing damage, so like 4 and 4. And I would strongly encourage you to roll initiative.
Okay.
I see what's going on and get up on my feet and scream, "Oi!"
You are not in a Irish pub, mice. Oi.
Oi!
So to put this into perspective for all of you, you know all the people that was in the town,
Yeah.
they're still kinda there, if you understand what I mean.
Just
But
one big mob.
it's literally a mob fight. So all the damage you'll do to the big mob will knock out people left and right. So
Okay.
the difference here is that I had to remove all the tiny little fucking tokens.
Yeah.
Okay. So in fact, we're fighting everybody, just one
You're
token on the screen.
you're fighting everyone that seems to want to not run the fuck away, yeah.
I look
Okay.
around at the rest of the party and say, should we keep this to our fists or take our weapons out?
And on your turn, I'm sure that you get to say that.
Okay.
But
So
we
I guess
have
I'm first.
a turn. Assam, you're first. Reeling a bit from a pitcher being literally broken on your head and cutting into your flesh.
I'm using my punches,
So
and
unarmed.
I'm trying to. Yes, unarmed, because I don't want in a bar fight to pull out the dagger yet. So I don't know what I need to roll for that because it's not.
It's a 1d4 plus your strength modifier if you want to do that. You would also need to roll for a hit first, though. So that would be a
So how do I
1d20 plus
1d20?
your proficiency plus your strength.
What's my proficiency?
Would be
2.
2. I don't know your strength, sadly.
My strength is 0,
So it would be 1d20 plus 2.
so that's 11.
You miss. You go
Uh,
for like a swing, and the guy just like, and you see him like lean backwards into Ishmark that's like petrified of what the fuck is happening right now.
okay, and I'm using my cunning action to get the hell out of there without triggering attack.
Okay.
I
Oh,
know.
what the fuck is
Don't.
that?
Menace, what was that?
I tried to make an unarmed. What's it called? Entry to the character screen, but I failed terribly, as you can see.
Yeah.
I will help you after that.
Thank you.
Like something that's important for you all to understand though, the barb roll token isn't exactly this size. It spawns at this size. In reality, The size would be more like this.
Oh, so it's everywhere.
You
It's not
are
like somewhere
all
I can
within
live.
the. There's only way you can leave the reach of this because it's called a huge swarm. The only way you can get the fuck away is by leaving. So just
Uh,
like for perspective's sake,
oh, I see. So basically, me disengaging doesn't mean anything because I'm still
doesn't
there.
doesn't do fuck all.
Yeah, basically we don't get reaction attacks, they don't get reaction attacks regardless of where and how you move. You're always
Yes.
near someone that can hit, that you can hit. What else?
And do I get a sneak? I don't get sneak attack, right?
You get sneak attacks
Uh,
because every single mob also has someone in next to them.
for you, you'll always get sneak attacks here.
Yeah.
Okay, but I need to hit first, so it's not just
Yes.
Yes.
this. Okay, so I finish my turn then.
Okay. Uh,
My initiative should be 1. I've double rolled. If not, I'll change.
okay. Um, no one will attack the dog. Who would they attack? Okay, I'm just gonna roll a 1d4.
1d5.
What? No. Uh,
Yeah, 1d5
because
because we are 5.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm just saying that they wouldn't attack Assam because he's already in combat with something.
Ah, okay.
The brawl is breaking out, so they're seeking the table with 4 of you. 1 is Manis, 2 is Radar, 3 is Benjen, 4 is Luke. Okay, Manis. The person you're sitting with just looks at you and scowls and like just goes like, excuse me, and like jumps off the bar stool, stretches a bit, grabs the bar stool, slams it towards your head.
Very polite.
8 to hit.
Does not.
Okay.
I frown at him.
Uh, the person behind you is trying to like takes a bottle of wine, like smash it on the table and tries to stab at you. 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
13 slashing damage.
13 slashing damage.
Yeah.
God, Boto, man. Come on.
Okay.
That's a Boto.
That's
Rolled 3, 4, 3, and 3 on a 4d4.
okay.
I mean, you think this is going to be friendly. It's not. Next up, we would have Manis.
Okay, I use my free action and unbundle the cloak with weapons and pick the shield and the warhammer, and I let out a furious draw and just smash the warhammer in the face of the guy that stabbed me.
Okay,
14 to
that
hit
hits.
for 8 bludgeoning.
Oh, he's shaking unsteadily.
I am also going to use my bonus action to scream, to shout that I didn't plan on using weapons against commoners, but if you want it like this, this is how it's gonna be. And should I do an intimidation roll?
If you want to.
Wait, this will be an action.
It
not
would be a
bonus
full
action.
action.
Okay,
It would be.
then ignore it.
But your shout with a free action is perfectly fine.
Yes. Anything else you want to do?
No, enter.
Okay. Lucian, I think you would be next.
Okay, how many people I can see
All of them.
fighting? I
Can
mean,
see
how many are they?
everything in this pub. It's considered one creature that is consisting of like a lot of individuals.
If I try to AoE,
Swarm always count as one target for AoE purposes.
okay,
You
that
will
sucks.
not do 20 times the damage of your channel divinity.
That's 6.
Yes.
Not
Which is why it's
really.
called Barb Rule instead of like why, and also why I hid all the commoners.
All right. I will do a scorching ray. Just let me see if I have added.
That hits.
That hits.
Okay, but do I have to roll it 3 times because it's
Yes.
do it roll 3 scorching?
Roll it again.
So I roll 3 times hits and then 3 times damage or something like that.
You roll as many times damage as I tell you. Roll the hits for it.
Okay, 3 hits then.
Yes. Okay. Roll on the damage on the 19 and the 20. Okay.
I think
All right, I
Radar is.
just toss a few scorching rays around different people I can see that are trying to threaten us.
For the purpose of this, oh yeah, Radar isn't on this. He's 2, so he would actually. Does he have? I rolled a 2. He has 2 dexterity. Okay, so he would be at 4. Ignore that 18. I rolled 2.
Yeah, I understand what you're doing. Just you need to change his token, reorder it, and he should take the turn before Benjen.
So Radar, seeing that Lucian is trying to not use lethal force.
I'm just trying to pacify them.
Holy shit, he actually unlearned Burning Hands. Why the okay, that's okay. Okay, interesting. Radar is going to cast Mirror Image. And not going to help him much, but it's going to help him cast, so he's going to retreat up the stairs. He'll still be in range and all that, but he'll reposition himself.
He's always in range, right?
Yes,
As you
but
said.
like depending on like damage and stuff, perhaps that will change. Benjen.
I'll go straight in swinging. The first one, 24.
A roll for hit. That hits. Are you using the sharp edge or are you using the blunt edge? Literally,
It's
are
a
you
great
committing?
sword. I don't think it works like a katana.
No,
He can blunt
he
it.
could theoretically just like flip it sideways and you slam
Ah,
them
okay,
with
okay, get it. Yeah, I understand.
for a blunt. I'm literally asking if he's committing murder in town or not.
No, I'm bludgeoning.
Okay. Azam, it will be your turn.
Hooray! Well, I'm trying to think. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to hit again unarmed.
1d20 plus 2.
That's
That hits.
16. And the damage was sneak attack plus 1d.
1d4.
So that's the 1d4. And the sneak.
You're like sneaking under the table to get behind one of the people that's sneaking up on Benjen. So you just grab him from behind and just slam his head down into one of the tables and knocks him straight up.
Okay, and on my free action, I yell to the barkeep, "Does this happen often?" and give me another pitcher of wine, please.
Um, okay, that ends you then. Question mark.
Virgil.
Yes, that ends my turn.
Okay.
I'm modifying my gold. If I don't know if the barkeep gives me the wine or not, but I'm just modifying.
She rolled her initiative as well, so she'll go in the turn.
Okay.
The swarm decides to. Okay, Mr. Manis,
Me. Present.
They like him.
you get like you've seen the action breaking out, and you're like with your back towards the counter. You can see like one of the guys is just like tossing darts at like what seems to be like a wooden board near the fireplace. As this shit breaks out, you see him turn towards you and then start throwing darts towards you. It's a 5 to hit. Never mind.
I see the darts flying towards me, and I parry them with my shield, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Are you really trying to hit me with a dart?"
Well, they're now going to try to do it towards Lucian.
Uh, if they want to hit me, someone wants to hit me.
Yes.
Yes, they're throwing darts towards you.
I'm gonna use my warding flare
What
to
does that
blind
do?
them. Just going to blind them with radiant light and
Yeah.
get disadvantage.
Okay, that's good because that was a natural 20. That would be 17 to hit.
Yes, it does hit.
Okay. You take 13 piercing damage as literally 4 darts start slamming into your body.
Ouch! Owie! Ow! That hurts.
Azam,
But at least none of the darts hit Lancelot.
actually, I'm going to roll that. Okay, gets their liquid courage back. So the Barbroll will use its bonus action to drink alcohol to become more drunk and recover some bonus hit point. Recovers 9 temporary hit points.
Who is that?
The
The
bar
Barbroll.
brawl.
They have an ability called Liquid Courage. So it recharges when I roll 5 or 6. So
Ah,
if I
Barbro. Okay.
then they can use a bonus action to get temporary hit points for 1 minute, which is what they want.
Okay. Did the berries disappear that we had from before?
Yes, I
Yes.
think.
Those are conjured items. They disappear during a long rest.
Actually, after a day, I think those are a bit unique.
Ah, okay.
Uh,
So we
Azam?
still have them since it's the morning.
Yes, you would have them. Azam?
Yes.
You see the barmaid just like clunk, 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 clunk into a pitcher and just like, here you go, dear. Happens all the time. At least twice a.
They
That's a day.
You cut off during twice, and if you're trying to talk
At,
right now,
at least twice a day.
Can I drink it now, or do I need to wait for my turn?
Your turn. Manis, you're next.
yes. Again, I shall slam my Warhammer into something. 8 roll.
You're as impotent as Benjamin's seduction rolls.
Um, uh, this was an action. On my free action, I turn towards the barmaid. So this is just a regular morning to you guys, huh? And my turn.
Then it would be Royder. He is going to. Now, what the fuck is Royder? Jaffa, what the hell? He's going to cast Levitate on the swarm.
Uh, what that does that? Can you link it?
I can link it. Just give me a second. So, since the swarm is a creature, literally you see all the drunkards in the tavern start floating up towards the ceiling and like get stuck up in the ceiling. Within 60 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it gets everyone. So,
It says up to 500 pounds. Is that enough?
ooh, I didn't actually see that one. No, that would not be enough. You're absolutely
500
right.
pounds is like 5 people, right?
So
Yeah.
9 maybe. I don't know.
No. 500 pounds is like.
500 pounds means 250 kilos. That's about two of
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it's
like
not.
200.
Two of me and a
Okay.
dog.
I think that's user error on my part since I didn't actually read that, but yeah, it's not going to work. So the spell fails.
One could argue that since we're talking about individuals and you're casting on a group, it might work since the individual would be 500 pounds and there's none in the.
I'll say I'll remove 3 commoner's HP from the total of that and treat it as a damage roll instead. Because
Did
yeah,
they
you would see 3 people floating up in the ceiling like what the
And they're out of the
So
combat, basically.
yes, so it literally became a damaging ability, and
did
so
they
they're
save
out of
the
the combat.
Constitution saving?
It's also a save. I thought it.
It has a
Yeah.
constitution saving throw for the unwilling creatures that succeeds.
Yeah.
288. No, none of them succeed.
Okay.
Lucian.
Great. Since it's one thingy only, I'll try to hold person.
Go ahead.
Just give me a second. I don't have it, so I'll just link it. Okay, it's a wisdom saving throw. And
Sure.
as I see that people are getting more drunk and more drunk, I decide to like hold them with my mind.
Yep. You get the sense that as you cast the spell, you get the sense that this would probably be a great ability to use on a singular mine. It is absolutely pointless to cast it on a swarm, as they would be a collection of several mines and would probably be immune to such an effect. It has no effect.
Ouch.
Yes, it is immune to paralyzation.
I end my turn.
Yep. Benjamin.
Just save again. Running and swinging.
What did you say?
Same again, just going to run in and swing.
Go for it. That hits. You like manage to like baseball bat slam one into the one of the supporting beams in the tavern. Knocks him the fuck. Anything else you want to do?
That's all.
Okay. Assam, it would be your turn.
Okay. Question: the Tasha Hideo's laughter, is that like the same? Can it work on this? Because it says on one person, but do I consider
No, it's
this?
that's not why it failed on the Lucian one. It's the bar brawl as a fight as a mob is immune to paralyze effects.
Okay.
Yes, but I didn't know that
Mhm.
because I didn't do any perception checks on it. Or
Yep.
actually,
We
it's
wouldn't
war checks.
we wouldn't be able to study that. And
I'm trying to, but I need to have 30 feet. So this bar, because it's on the whole area, I don't have 30 feet, so it shouldn't work, right?
It does work. Range does not matter during a bar brawl.
it's any target within 30 feet.
Yeah, and you already have someone in your 30 feet regardless.
Okay, I'm trying. I'll use this.
Okay. Do you use it?
Yes,
It's also immune to the prone effect, so it has no effect whatsoever.
Yeah. I
and
guess it's normal.
in my free action, I drink the wine.
Okay.
I yell
Then
to the others. Does anybody want some wine?
I owe to you to toss me the tankard or whatever it's in.
Pitcher.
Yeah,
um
picture.
one of the bar brawlers comes up to you, Assam, and like with like a glass of that's empty, and says, "Yeah, I want."
I pour him some wine and I say, "Hey, stay on the ground and let's talk."
Okay. So the guy that was about to hit Lucian, he stops. So only 3 darts come towards Lucian. That's an 11 to hit. I guess that misses.
Who are you asking? Me or him?
You,
It misses.
Manis,
Yes.
you're being attacked by a bar stool, like
Okay.
21 to hit.
Yes.
Like you're trying to like shield bash and warhammer bash left and right, and as you're like shield bashing to the left and warhammering to the right, you realize, my middle is wide open. Ah, shit!
Burst onto
11,
the face.
11 bludgeoning damage as you feel a ringing in your head as someone just clocks you with a bar stool.
Okay.
And that would be the end of the bar brawl. Manis, it's your turn.
I visibly shaken. I get a grapple of the warhammer and swing it without looking very well around me.
Hits.
I feel the warhammer stopping into something fleshy for 6 bludgeoning damage. Oh my fucking god, my rolls today. That was literally a 1.
Yeah, it was. Nice.
That's the least amount of damage I can do.
Um, is that the end of your turn, or do you have more in your?
Just give me a second.
You were going to intimidate them at some point.
Well, let me put it this way: if they're immune to paralyze effects, they're probably immune to fear. So there's no point.
That's not really true. I think. I don't know.
I mean,
Like,
he'll have to test to find
it
out.
it makes sense for you to not be able to hold person on a swarm or trip a
Fuck
swarm down. But you can
Christ.
intimidate it.
Those rolls, I swear.
I'll be fair. I'm just rolling 1d5 to see who I'm targeting. Anything else you would like to do?
No, that was it.
Then it would be Rardar.
The magnificent.
This is gonna be a fucking. Okay, he's going to cost. I suppose he's just going to cost mage armor on himself. Okay, that ends his turn. Lucian.
Okay, how do so AoE spells just work as normal spells?
And one target, yes.
Okay. Can I safely use AoE, or do I have to mind the position of people at the moment?
Depends if it says it's a target of your choice, then yes.
I'm talking
You
about
can
burning
cast.
hands.
You
Do I
want to
need?
cast Burning Hands inside?
Uh, Actually, do I risk on killing someone?
Do whatever you want.
Oh, I already casted fire spell inside.
Scorching Ray? Like, I think you should read the description of Burning Hands.
Ah, okay, yeah. You're right. It's two AoEs.
Not the same either.
Okay, I'll just order that, but I'll try to not kill anyone.
Um, Fails.
Fails? What the hell?
Yes. No, I
Here.
mean like the saving throw fails.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
so the damage enters.
Yes, sir. The damage enters. Um. Okay. Yeah. Then it would be Ben.
14.
That hits. You manage to clock another one over the top of his head, and he just like sinks down in the chair next to the table, and you just like push him in like a resting position. On. Anything else you would like to do?
Just shout that.
Oh, okay. Azam.
Yeah, I first thing I do, I yell to the bear, keep that wine coming, and I use an unarmed attack against somebody in the brawl.
Okay. 1d20 plus 2. Okay, that hits.
Plus 2 is 16, yeah,
For 3 damage. Oh,
and sneak. And I tell to the guy next to me, more wine, the one that came down.
okay. Sorry, Illusion, but that's you.
I will flare myself.
And that, okay. The other attack will be against Azam. So, first attack, it's going to be a broken bottle towards Lucian
With disadvantage.
with disadvantage.
I see, senor.
It's a 7, so it fails. Then towards Assam, it's going to be a bar stool for 15 to hit.
My armor class is 15, so I don't think it
It
hits.
hits.
So that does hit if
It
it's the
hits?
same.
Oh,
Yes. Um, 11 damage to you as someone just clocks you with the bar stool and then tries to feverishly grab the pitcher from you to like save the one.
Question:
Mine. Yes.
isn't this attack split between the two of us, or is it two separate attacks?
There's two separate
Multi
attacks.
attack. The barb roll
Okay,
makes
okay.
2 melee attacks or 2 dart attacks or you know, that's
Okay,
it.
okay. Just
So
asking. Is if it's one attack split between the two, or
no,
two attacks separate?
it's in case of barstool, it's a melee weapon attack that does for the. Okay, actually I rolled wrong there. Should have actually have rolled 4d6, but okay. So everyone that's gotten hit by a barstool has actually taken less damage than what they should have.
Oh,
Manny should have been knocked out when I think about it, but
yeah.
it's fine. My mistake. Because I've been trying to be fair to roll in the open, but I realize now that I shouldn't have done that. The the barmaid, the woman, she takes the remnants of the bar stool that was clocked into Manus's face and start casting a little spell to reattach the bar stool together again, and then puts it behind the counter near safety. Try to not die. She goes back to like literally serving alcohol. Manus, your turn.
Okay. Um, I keep chopping with my warhammer.
On hits.
10 damage.
Very nice.
Enter.
Arthur is going to try to shoot with a crossbow. It's going to carefully aim at someone's kneecap, just for a crippling.
That's almost a crit, man.
Yeah. There's a 19, right?
Will.
Yeah.
Possibly? Oh, yeah, that's almost a crit. So, you know that there will be one limping townsfolk tomorrow? But that ends Rother's turn. Lucian.
Can I use Fairy Fire at the range so that I don't hit any of us, but hit the guys that are fighting us? Since we are pretty
Yes.
much cornered here in the bottom, in the
Yes.
top.
Do we in fact see that you're starting to thin out the herd pretty fast though? Um, there's very. From what started, you seem to be down to like a third of the company.
Oh, okay.
Just
Then
saying,
I'll
like
just
you can do that, yes.
no. I'll just keep hitting them.
Okay. Ah, they failed again. Shit. Okay, that clocks one guy really hard and he just grabs his hand like ah, and then falls up, twitching a bit on the ground. Okay. Roll for
That's
damage.
how you do it.
It's the first one, so it's only 16.
Yeah. If you've seen Inglorious Bastards here, Benjamin just walks up to one of these drunk people and then just like gently caresses his great sword with the flat side on his cheeks, and then he just goes like shh, 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 and then just like slams it hard into his cheek. Seems to be like some cracking of bone. So, wow. But guy goes just like seems to be just two people left. Assam, it would be your turn.
Yes, I'm attacking that again. Unarmed as well. I'm
Hits.
guessing that hits as well.
Yes, very low AC on this thing.
13 damage.
Why are you unarmed, by the way?
Because I don't want to kill people.
Because his weapons are all slashing and piercing.
Okay.
Exactly.
And he hasn't realized that he could have used the back of his hilt the entire time.
Yeah, but now thinking of it out of character and whatever, would that still do the same damage? Because I'm guessing most of the damage of the weapon it's because it's pointy and slashing and not the hilt. At least for a rapier or for a dagger.
I mean,
Makes
if you're
sense.
asking me how I would rule it, yeah, I would rule it as the same damage. Just a different
Okay.
damage type.
Yeah, I just thought that
Mm.
you understand what I.
Yeah,
know.
it makes sense.
Okay, so I use this, and as my free action, I'm trying to do a sleight of hand on one of the bodies on the ground to see if I find some coins to buy wine, of course.
Roll a sleight of hand. Um,
I just got a chair to my face a while ago.
you put your hand down someone's pants. You feel something hairy. You don't think that's coins.
I look around. That's not many pants, so it's okay.
But with that like massive blow to the head of the last guy, you just like knock out the last combatant.
Okay, so it's over.
It's over indeed.
Then I need a new long rest. Now because it's over, can I go back to that guy trying to get to him?
You could certainly try.
Okay, I go towards Ishvan. While doing that, I'm looking at Lancelot and saying, "Are you okay?"
Wait, you're going to the guy and then
To the
talking
dog.
to Lancelot?
Yes, can't I do that? Can't I
No,
walk and talk?
it's two entirely different parts of the room.
Okay, then I talk to Lancelot now, and I don't go to the guy, and I'm doing an animal
Fuck the
handling on
guy,
him.
man.
Okay, Lucian. Um, there's a slight snarl as you try to reach down, but you're not.
Good boy.
Okay.
And I throw him a piece of meat from my bags.
Guys, you throw him so much meat, you barely have any rations left.
I took it from the dead house. Remember, you said that it's gonna go to waste, but I still took it.
Um, something you do notice is that the three women all like end up like walking around, picking up splintered pieces of the chairs, the bottles. They start casting a spell. Things like rematerialize and fix themselves. Seems like this is something they tend to do a lot. One of them just goes like, "This is like one of those that's been uh, perhaps the most silent." Turns to, "Well done." Most people would be like completely knocked out at this point.
Well, thank you. I'll need a bit more wine for that.
Certainly.
A picture, please.
You know the drill.
Done. Remove the coin from there.
I drink what remains of my pitcher and I ask for another one as well.
At this rate, by the end of the morning, we'll all be knocked out drunk.
And broke, yes.
To help you clarify, Benjamin, the one that you spoke to last night would have been the red one. She goes and like,
And the one that I talked to is the green one.
Yes.
yes. And the blue one is the one that has not been very talkative thus.
Okay.
The red one just turns to you and says, I guess you're a 3-pump wonder. Not bad.
I take the picture and I go to Ishvan and tell him, I found a letter for you and a gift.
Before we get to that, Lucian will ask the woman behind the bar. They were drunk, dear. It's usually what happens when you mix alcohol and stress. They tend to take bad decisions.
But it's just the morning. Why are they so drunk? Are they having bad dreams?
No, they just always are drunk.
Don't they go to work? Do they need to work and make a living?
Don't have to be sober to work.
I guess you have.
And as for that, since I'm not entirely sure what the hell Benjamin is saying to whom.
To Lady in Red.
Yeah, but I don't know what he means by be in that room with you and you guys would have.
And then,
Your guys would.
guys,
Oh!
like there's two U's, one of them shouldn't be there.
Meaning that he would still be in the bed with her.
Oh! Well. I'm sure if you want to. If you'd rather want to get physical with hairy men, then that's your choice. I'm not going to judge. As Azam walks up to the dude, this is where we end for tonight.
Okay.
Since it's past 3 hours already.
Yeah.
Thank you for the session.